pros are suckers. I want to start the segment by saying that. It's not anything new, though. I'm not splitting the atom here. But this is just yet another example of what these fucking weirdos that work for the Marvels and the DCs, like, this is how they act. They're petty as I don't know what, and they are, I don't know, fucking weird, for lack of better terms. But there's this weird story coming from Tom King. We talk about Tom King. Let's preface it by saying that this man used to work with the CIA. Obviously, that makes him an objectively bad person as far as I'm concerned. But that's for another. We've already talked about that. So CIA dipshit. And he's also the guy who tried to, because Jay Lee, who is a artist who has done some, I think it was Ethan Cyberfraud. I could be wrong. Somebody in the comics gay community, I believe it was EVS, where he did a variant cover, if I'm not mistaken, for him. And I found out that he did this. Jay Lee, like a little messy little gossip girl ass bitch. I'm going to call him exactly what the fuck he is for doing that shit. Tries to basically get him canceled on Twitter. And I love how Jay Lee responded to that, by the way. Jay Lee basically said the shit ain't funny, right? And then, Tom King comes after the fact on Twitter. I find out that he's not a comics gay. I apologize for doing blah, blah, blah. And Jay Lee was like, this shit ain't fucking funny. Like, this ain't funny. I'm not part of whatever stupid stuff you're trying to pay me, but he's like, this ain't funny. And, he didn't even basically say, I accept your apology or anything. He was like, fucking this shit ain't funny, motherfucker. But Tom King, yet again, is signaling on Twitter. And this is what they try to do. My friends over at Bounding into Comics, Spencer, he covers this, and this is the headline. It says, Awesome Khan reportedly claims there has been no incidents after DC Comics writer Tom King boasts of cussing out and having fan removed over lack of masks. Now, you're probably thinking, like, what is going on here? I'm pretty sure they got the tweets here. All right. So this is the story that Tom King said, or whether what he put out there on Twitter. This is what he said. Love seeing people at cons. Talking about, obviously Comic Cons and, those sorts of deals. Says, but yesterday we had a Rorschach cosplayer who took his mask off at our table. You think I swear a lot in comics? You should see me in person. After an impolite talking to, Rorschach was escorted from the con. Wear your mask. We're not fucking around. So this fucking fruitcake is bragging about a guy being escorted, and him, like, I guess, cussing him out, which is what he's kind of alluded to, because he's at a con. So this is supposed to be a fan who's dressed as Rorschach, who he's writing. Right. This tells you how they feel about you. So the fact that he made this may be a fucking made up story, but the fact that he even would make a story up to where he's basically shitting on a fan for not having a fucking face diaper, which he would have had one in some capacity because he has the Rorschach. He would have had to have maybe a mask. Maybe it wasn't an N95 mask or something. I don't fucking know what he had in his mind when he was conjuring up this story that may or may not have happened. Nonetheless, that's how he feels about fans. But yeah, I can sit up here and say that he's a goofy ass motherfucker that's sitting here trying to give someone a bunch of shit for having his mask down at a table briefly. Like, it's fucking, you loser. But he follows up. I don't know if it's because people saying, well, that doesn't make sense. And the Awesome Con, the con that he was at, is also saying there was no incidents that they were aware of. Tom King says, there seems to have been some confusion about the mask thing at a con. Here's what happened. All right, let's get a further breakdown there, Mr. Tom King. Mitch and I were signing at our booth at an Awesome Con, which has a strict mask mandate in compliance with Washington, D.C.'s indoor mask mandate. Thousands of people all wearing masks. We spotted a dude in a Rorschach jacket, not wearing a mask, a few feet from our booth coming our way. We noted this to the con people helping us with our line at the con. They went over and politely asked the guy to put on a mask. He ignored them and walked up to the booth. So apparently what he is saying is that in a little more detail, he was politely asked by, I guess, maybe the con staff to put his mask on, and he ignored them and then walked up to the booth. And he cut the line, which this shit sounds bizarre. Cut the line without his mask on. He came up to us. He said, dude came up to us. He said, we told him had to mask before talking to us. He seemed confused by this, like a little kind of dazed or stunned. Yeah, because he's meeting probably a guy that he was a fan of, and you give him a shit about a mask. Again, I don't even know if this story fucking happened. Said, but finally he took a thin Rorschach mask, nylon Stockton with ink, but didn't seem to know how to put it on. It was tangled. Okay, now we're on a completely different kind of story that you initially told that tried to present yourself as a badass. Let's see what else you got to say about it, Tom King. We asked him to stand back from the booth while he figured out his mask, because you don't want to give him COVIDs, because that's the mask stops, of course, all the COVIDs. He didn't move. We asked him again, didn't move. At this point, I sent some language his way. No regrets. He finally woke up a bit, took a step back, and put his Rorschach nylon sock thing, put on his Rorschach nylon sock thing. He handed us 2 books. We signed them quickly. We didn't want him in our line with that mask. He walked away a few feet, removed his mask, and went back maskless into the con. We were later informed that the kind people helping us at the con, as they were obligated to, reported his behavior to the con management, and the dude was removed for violating con district policy. So, in a more detail, it doesn't seem like he just cussed him out and he left or some shit. It was more of a, I said some nice things, then I signed his shit, and then the guy went away and took his mask off, and apparently the staff said that they got him out the way. So he's making it seem like he made a big scene. Awesome Con, reportedly, they claim that there's been no fucking accidents. So either it didn't happen, or it didn't happen at least to the degree that he tried to paint himself as. But imagine that anyway. Trying to present yourself as a badass for like, I don't fuck around, right? Because like, yeah, you Billy Badass fucking about to fucking have a fucking heart attack, I guess, and cussing up a storm because God forbid someone don't have a face diaper as they come up to ask you to sign something. You fucking loser. Like, these are the pussies that are running the industry right now, who make up stories. Maybe he didn't make it up. I don't know. But at least, even if he did make it up or didn't, you're saying that you were willing to crap on a fan because he didn't have a mask on. And that's your right, I guess. I'm not going to sit up here and argue that. I'm just saying you're a fucking loser for acting like that. And this is why I say that these weirdos, like, considering that he had to go in greater detail because some of the events didn't add up, it really goes to show who they make these tweets for. And as you know, you read the comments, oh man, such a you badass, you awesome person, he. You wonder why your industry is the way that it is. Tom King wouldn't be able to do anything had he not been connected to the big two anyway, but that's aside the point. The larger story, I guess, is you can see who they try to appeal to, right? It's the same, or like I said, this is why the same people advocate mask mandates and vaccine mandates. That also like Tom King's bad comic books. I don't know what the hell he was doing post-wedding Batman, Heroes in Crisis, all those were disasters. I don't know, he was going through a crisis himself while he was writing it, but it was pretty fucking bad. Nonetheless, that's who he's trying to signal to. Weirdos who will like and retweet and they say, look at you, Tom King, you're a badass for being scared of a person in a mask. Or giving someone shit for a mask. Which I never do that, by the way. And I'm not Tom King, to be fair. I never worked for the CIA either. They're going to realize soon enough, and as they continue to get frustrated, as independents do not hate their fans, that they can't eat their comic books. And those likes and retweets that you make up stories for, or do that for, tell stories like that too, they don't equal sales. They don't. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.